I got home after a short walk. I swiftly knocked on my front door and patiently waited for someone to open it. My mom was the one to open it. She had a massive grin plastered on her face. "How was your time at the park?" my mom asked curiously. "It was great," I excitedly said, even though that was false. "That's good. Welcome home, Leo," my mom said. I walked inside and immediately rushed upstairs. I wanted to get on my gaming console and play this game called Cubic War 3 as soon as possible, or as soon as humanly possible. But Joshua had recommended this game to me, and we were going to play it for the remainder of my afternoon. If you're wondering what happened to Joshua, he got himself landed in a foster care facility since his home was completely destroyed and his father was charged with horrendous crimes, or he committed suicide. I don't know the entire story yet. It was nice being on summer break and being able to relax after all the stress of the past few months. I felt at ease. Still couldn't fathom the fact that I and my friends were invited to work with the mayor, of all people. We're just a bunch of young teenagers. We can't do anything. Well, if we saved the whole city, then I guess we can after all. Dinner came around quite quickly, and I came downstairs to eat my mom's amazing pasta. My parents, including me, were relatively silent the whole time, just focusing on our food. My dining room was a very open area connecting the kitchen and the living room. A large wooden table sat in the middle. "Hey, Leo," started my dad after finishing his plate, interrupting the silence that settled in the house. "What's up?" I replied after swallowing down my bite of pasta. "Did you hear about this already?" asked my dad as he showed me a newspaper about Christopher, Adeline, and Joshua all being helpers in the upcoming Greenfield Summer Fair. I knew that the mayor was mongering us across the city. "Yeah, I already heard about it," I replied, not being able to hold back a grin. "Christopher told me about it. We're friends with the mayor." My dad's face lit up with curiosity. "Y'all know the mayor?" he asked. "Of course we do. I'm sure I told you this over a month ago," I loudly said. "All right, calm down, Leo," my mom said, mouth full of food. I glared at her before looking back at my dad. "Well, cool," murmured my dad, patting me on the back. "So you gotta be there early?" I quickly glanced over at the newspaper he was holding. It said that the helpers would be at the fairgrounds in the early morning, 5 a.m. I felt a part of myself dissipate. I didn't want to wake up early. Regardless, I nodded. I didn't want to miss out on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. No other words were exchanged throughout the rest of our dinner, which I loved. I loved it when the house was silent. Thought that had lingered in my mind was what happened to my parents during the ordeal. They kept their mouths shut about what happened to them or the house when disaster struck the city. All I know is that when I came home, the house looked normal and they looked normal. Anyhow, dinner was rather short-lived, and my parents, including me, returned to what we were originally doing. Joshua was right when he said that Cubic War 3 was a good game. It was really addicting. 12:21 a.m., June 12, 2019. I was incredibly surprised when I saw the time when Joshua had to get off the game. I wasn't expecting it to be so late. My blinds were still open, so right after I turned off the television and game console, I walked over to close the blinds. A street light illuminating a poster caught my eye. I squinted at the poster and felt excitement rush through my veins. They were finally starting to put up posters for the fair. After I closed the blinds, I took a brief shower, brushed my teeth, and hit the hay. The same thoughts from earlier were still stuck in my happy-go-lucky mind, and they continued to be in my mind till the moment I fell asleep. Waking up was a real struggle. It's always a struggle to gather the willpower to step foot out of bed, even during the summer. After rolling in the silky sheets of my bed for around 30 minutes, I got up and did my morning routine. I didn't know what to do today, only since Joshua would be busy, which meant he couldn't play Cubic War 3. "Leo, come down for breakfast," yelled my mom from downstairs in the middle of me brushing my teeth. "Coming," I yelled right as I finished brushing my teeth. Opening the bathroom door, a fantastic aroma from downstairs traveled up to the bathroom, and I couldn't wait to get downstairs and see what my mom made. It smelled like fresh pancakes, scrambled eggs, and syrup. I nearly tripped while running downstairs but managed to catch myself. As I turned the corner towards the dining table, I saw that there were really fresh pancakes drizzled with syrup and scrambled eggs neatly organized on some plates. I was amazed. She was a fantastic cook. I sat down eagerly at the dining table and indulged in the delicious breakfast. My mom had nearly finished her food before I got halfway through my scrambled eggs. My mom had nearly finished her food, and before I got halfway through my scrambled egg, she was already finished. She got up from the dining table and threw her dish into the sink, making a loud clank followed by the soothing sound of rushing tap water from the faucet. "Hey, Leo," said my mom as she turned off the faucet. "Can you go to the fridge? I have a list of some chores you need to do around the house for today." I knew this was coming from a mile away. I took my last bite of scrambled eggs, sighed, and directed my attention towards my mom. Yes, I'll do it, I sighed. I wasn't too thrilled to be doing chores today. I rushed to the kitchen and looked at the list of chores for today. There's a paper list of chores taped to the fridge. The only chores on the list included vacuuming the living room, taking out the trash, and picking up my room. Not bad, I thought to myself. This was going to be an ease for me. After vacuuming the living room, I decided to take out the trash next, then pick up the trash and items from my room. It was just an ordinary day of chores. I'm happy that all the chores took less than 30 minutes. On other days, the chores I have are a massive burden, and they can take up to 6 hours to finish all. Anyhow, since I had finished my chores, I decided to watch some television in the living room. I did not realize the time when I finally got bored of the television. It was nearly 7 p.m. I think when I got finished with my chores, it was around 10 a.m., which meant I had been watching television for 9 hours. My days during the summer had been relatively boring, but I didn't realize that. One thing that had been on my mind the entire day was the fair and how I would have the opportunity to help the mayor set up the fair. That was so exciting.